Hey everybody, it's Jenna. Something was announced today that I had to drop everything and talk about, but it doesn't really have a lot to do with superheroes. Prime Video has officially ordered an 8-episode TV adaptation of Sex Criminals, the Image comic series created by Matt Fraction, who you know from Hawkeye, Iron Fist, and his new Batman run that I previously interviewed him on this channel about, and Chip Zdarsky, who has also written Batman, Daredevil, and Marvel's upcoming Armageddon event. The comic, which ran from 2013 through 2020, is set in a world where some people can secretly stop time while they have sex. At the center of the story is John and Susie, a young couple who learn that they both have this ability and proceed to use it to rob banks. I understand that on paper, that concept sounds genuinely deranged. And to an extent, it is in practice, with running jokes and variant covers and panels that would get this video demonetized into oblivion if I even included them for a second. But within that deranged concept is something beautiful, tackling mental illness and self-worth and the longing for human connection. It is genuinely one of my favorite indie comics of all time, and it's part of an era when Image was putting out banger after banger after banger. A lot of the beauty of those books was that they were somewhat unadaptable in other mediums, either because adaptations of them fell into creative limbo or because the creators intentionally designed them that way. The odd title from that era would get adapted here and there, most recently in Ryan Murphy's adaptation of The Beauty, but a lot of the major books have stayed comics ever since they were initially published. Sex Crims has been one of those titles, and I've always wondered if and how it could even be translated into another medium. There was an attempt to do so nearly a decade ago, from Fraction and his wife Kelly Sue DeConnick, but it didn't come to fruition. So I would be excited about this to begin with, but on top of that, the TV adaptation is co-created by Kumail Nanjiani and Emily Gordon, who most famously were nominated for an Oscar for their work on The Big Sick, and Tze Chun, who has written a number of comics and was involved in the Gremlins animated series. As anyone who saw my lengthy tangent about Ted Kord during Peacemaker Season 2 knows, I have loved Kumail and Emily's work for as long as I can possibly remember. The Big Sick means a lot to me, and I can so clearly see how their sensibility would mesh well with this source material. Kumail is also set to act in the show, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's either Dr. Glass or a member of the mysterious sex police. This just has the potential to be something really special, especially in an age where since then, Puritan culture has become a thing and people have gotten so weird about sexuality on screen. Even then, I have a lot of questions about how this will be adapted, and I cannot wait to see how they're answered. How will the quiet, the void at the center of the show's gimmick, be translated on screen? How extensive will the set design be in trying to recreate Chip's background gags and in-universe ephemera? As he joked on Substack earlier, he's, quote, fucking useless in the show's process, because they don't need him, quote, drawing dicks in the background. How will the show world build sexual Gary, a character introduced in a random background gag who eventually got his own one-shot? There is one amazing sequence where Susie does karaoke to Queen's Fat Bottom Girls, but the comic is not able to legally publish the rights to it. Will the show keep that moment and break the fourth wall? I really hope that it does, and just change the gag to royalty-free music or something. Over time, the series' letter column also became a pivotal and honestly indescribable part of the reading experience, to the point where a selection of them were eventually published in their own hardcover book. There's really no way to capture that experience in the show, which is fine. And if anything, that key difference will hopefully drive people to just enjoy the comic itself. The topic of comics and their adaptability, and the beauty of sometimes just letting something be a comic for a little while, is something that's been on my mind a lot lately. I mentioned it earlier in this video, and it's at the heart of the video that I paused work on in order to make this one, but should hopefully have uploaded by this weekend. And I'm glad that Sex Crims was able to tell its story and stand as a complete run for years, before its world now gets to be opened up to an entirely new audience. If you've made it this far into the video, I hope my enthusiasm has convinced you to go read Sex Criminals. Seriously, it is such a fun, beautiful work, and such a great showcase of Matt and Chip's talents. What do you think of Sex Criminals getting a TV adaptation? Did you even know the book existed before I started talking about it? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you haven't already done so. As always, you can find me on social media, especially on Threads at Hey It's Jenna Lynn. Merch is available at the link in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, go read some comics.